Hello. I've still not figured out how I can get my mic to sound good on my headphones, sadly. Let's get this a bit quieter. Right. Oh, 2 viewers already. Wow. Take it you're both from Instagram. Not so subtle. Can I open there? Right, let's wind that down. Right, if everyone's ready, I think there's a few folk here now, so we'll get started. Feel free to drop a comment, ask a question, whatever. I'll pause the video and we can have a yap. Sorry, just adjusting my screen so I can see everything. Right. So this one's actually surprising. Is one of my top viewed videos. With third. Can you see my cursor? No, you can't. Okay. I don't know why you can't see the cursor, but I will. 13,000 views. Surprisingly, it's not a money video. I think I did this 10 years ago. Me tied up with my hunters, which I think was originally a custom from someone, and was kind of fun to do. Haven't done one since. Did a couple around about that time. It's more awkward than anything to film, because, surprisingly, you're tied up. But yeah, it was kind of fun to do. If it's something people would like to see more of, I could easily do more. Maybe I should, if this is one of my most viewed videos. Oh, it was like 10 years ago. Well, it was 10 years ago, sorry. just a little short one with my old logo. And outro cards because I had more time to edit videos back then. Right. So next one. Uh, these aren't in any super particular order. It is kind of highest views down to like normal views. But this one was again 10, 11 years ago. It was actually this was when I met up with a friend off of Facebook. I think it was back then. I don't think I had Instagram yet. Um, yeah, he came up from Glasgow and took his hunter stream fishers, I think they were, with him, and as you can see, got them quite deep. He didn't get stuck in oily. I was kind of hoping he was gonna get um kind of stuck and have to be rescued, but he managed to get himself out. And sadly, they didn't fit me, or else I would have warned them and been the one getting filmed, not filming.
They're not helping us.
I also didn't have waders at this point, so I was just wearing, I think it was my black hunters. Yeah, that stuff. It was very very like bog type. Um, so like you could sink quite deep, as you seen there. Um, and it was just heavy to walk through. Is the best way I could describe it. Like it didn't necessarily. I mean, there was kind of like a layer of clay down the bottom, so it was kind of difficult, but it was more just awkward to try and walk through because you were so deep. As you can see, he's like right near the top of his hunters. And you can see a lot of the trees that are around there, they're all like dead or rotten. So when you're trying to grab onto a branch on it, it literally just crumbles. But yeah, that spot is a good spot. It gets so overgrown like this time of year. And there's like giant hogweed and stuff there, so it's pretty much unusable. It needs to be either kind of early spring or late autumn, and it kind of looks a bit like that. That was an abrupt stop. I'm trying to think. I don't. This is like the same spot. You can see my cursor. Why couldn't I see that before? Fuck. So that clip was like over here. I think maybe further up. And this is the other side of like a little stream. This bit isn't as deep. Like that bit is at least as you see in the thigh deep. This bit's not. But weirdly, this bit is stickier, if that makes sense. I think those boots were like garden center specials, if I remember correctly. Or maybe even like B&Q, like cheap, cheap ones from B&Q, I think. I think they were one of my first pairs I actually got. Yeah, almost full circle. Now, this was 11 years ago. I think this would have been one of my first videos I uploaded. Definitely first 10. And there goes the boot. I think I realized at that point that because the mod was so thick, it closed on the boot really quickly, and I couldn't really get it back on. I think. And now I'm kind of trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. If I can try and pull the boot out or step onto this pile of raw twigs to get out. And also trying to put on these gloves. I actually can't remember how I get out of here. Yeah, they were just cheap PVC garden center wellies. Yeah, you can really see how stuck that boot is there. Yeah. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I got that out at some point. I can't remember though. Right. Next one. Uh I think this was at the estuary actually. They did look abandoned. I think those ones actually did end up getting left. I can't remember if they split or if I just left them stuck there in a different video. Alright, so this video it was down at the estuary, which I'm sure you've seen a good few of my videos. About 8 years ago. I think this was one of my first trips out with them. They are looking surprisingly clean compared to what they now look like. And I think it might have been one of my first trips to the estuary. certain, but it was definitely one of the earlier times. Is the size ratio between the video and the current view of my boots okay, or do you want one bigger than the other? You really hear the suction. Estuary mud's just so much fun. Like you're barely ankle deep, and it's really, really got hold. Yeah, I can do that. Oh dear, wrong button. I know, it's so good, isn't it? Yeah, I can definitely highly recommend. If you can go to an estuary, you should go to one. It's only a short drive. Just make a day trip out of it. Yeah, start getting deeper a little bit, and then the thing I find with estuaries is they're not. I mean, some are, but like they're not always uniformly deep. Like generally it gets deeper the further you get into the water. But sometimes you can be walking along and it'll be like a bit of a sandbank, so it'll be like it is just now, ankle deep or whatever, and then you'll hit a pocket and suddenly like you're right near the top of your boots or something. So it is quite fun. Want me to skip ahead, or you okay watching? Yeah, you can see how it's getting more like silty here, just as you get near the edge of the tide, or the river even. And then you'll notice right where the water is, it it's not as muddy. Ah, no worries, man. We'll catch you later. Yeah, sorry there was a delay in getting started. Hopefully, it says I've got a couple of viewers. Just everyone's been quiet. Uh, the boots I'm in, like wearing. It's the Noras and the ones in the video are the Hunters. Sorry, man. My chat window was set on top chat for some reason, so I missed your message. Fix it now though. Yeah, it's a Nora's. I can't remember which ones it is. It's the. I don't know if you can see the. It's whatever ones have that soul. I can never remember between Dolomite or Anton's. I think it's the Dolomites. I, I it's hard to say. It's because like these aren't technically rubber. They're more like a synthetic, like PVC kind of thing. But they are very soft. Like you can kind of see like you can like pinch them very easily, and they are very soft. But they're I would say they're totally different. Like not even in the same category as shams. Like shams are just really high quality natural rubber. These aren't natural, but they're still really good. And they're relatively cheap. Like compared to shams, these are like I think they're like 35 quid. So like if you've got the option or got the chance to get some, I would definitely get some. Way to get into that deep spot under the water here. which is another good thing about, like, fun thing about estuaries. You can be walking along, and then all of a sudden it starts getting deeper, especially like underwater. And then you go from just a nice little beach walk to suddenly struggling to not flood your car, which is always fun. I decided to watch these old videos. I can't actually remember what happened. Like it says, I lose them at some point, but I can't remember if I flood them in the water first, get stuck in. Yeah, really struggling to keep them honest. Like you can kind of like you can tell. Although I was walking through like boot deep water, it's now transitioned into boot deep mud, and it's like such a sloppy, thick mud as well. Like it really, really holds onto your boots. I don't remember the quality of this video being so crap. Like I don't remember that jumping at all. I think that might be a YouTube issue. Mm. That's the other thing about an estuary. Once you like walk through it, if you like try and retrace your steps, it like disturbs the mud or something, and it can be, as you see there, a lot deeper the second time. And it's gone under. And as you're past me, as I find out, if you take your foot out, the weight of the mud just completely closes in on you. Like really just squishes them. Oops. So this is me back at the estuary. Um, I think this might have been pre the red ones. I actually can't remember. But these were good boots. They were an 11, which is my size, but they run really big. Like they felt more like a 12, UK 12. Um, so they were very easy to get to lose, and surprisingly not that comfortable over a long distance, like walking for a while. If you want to skip ahead to like the deeper mud bits, just let me. You can kind of see I'm already struggling to try and keep them on. Press strong button there. You can really tell the quality of the photos have gone better. Like the image stabilization on that is terrible. Skip ahead to the deeper bits. Because there's a lot of me walking. Yeah, this is just like deep silt. Um, it's the weirdest texture to walk through. Because although like you'll see your boot kind of hits, it looks like I'm hitting something solid. It's not. It's just I've stopped sinking. It still feels soft underneath. And then as you see in this bit, you can hit just wet patches and just sink. And here's me struggling to realize that there's nothing solid there. But yeah, that's the kind of mud you're walking through. Just that like really silky, thick muck. Yeah, it's like very silky, very unpredictable, um, kind of creamy. And yeah, it's definitely unpredictable. Like 1 minute you're walking its ankle deep, next minute it's right to the top of the boots. Yeah, that stuff's got really good suction. Uh, it does differ, like in different bits. Like some bits have really good suction, some bits are kind of like yours, like really sandy and watery. Some like in some bits you get like this, where there's just like this gray sticky layer underneath, and yeah, it'll just suck you right out. Luckily, these ones are relatively kind of solidly formed, so it didn't completely close up on you if your foot slipped out. But like I said before, they were too big for me, so I had to use my hands a lot of the time. And of course, all while you're doing this, your other one's starting to sink even deeper. Yeah, this stuff here is not that bad. It is kind of oily, but like there's stuff down near the beach that is just like it's like a black oil kind of mud. I don't know if there is actual oil in it. Could be, but it's not. It's not a harbor estuary. But yeah, you can definitely understand how people like panic after walking on like mud flats and end up like this. I have never been stuck on a mud flat, touch wood, before that had to like the panic set in. It's just always been like a tough slog to get out. Evening gym. Now, I might ask this before, but is anyone else well now? Or is it just me? Well, what's stopping you? Yeah. You can be well in spirit, I suppose. Yeah, Norse tonight. Yeah, if I remember right, yeah, you can see just how hot the boots were after coming back and uh, cleaning them off. Like kept them on while I cleaned them. And yeah, it was although it looks sunny, it's actually really cool. Right, so this was another 10-year ago video. Back when I actually had rubber riding boots, which I don't know pretty sure if you see at the back, yeah, you can see where I had to cut them to get them to fit. They were good fun to wear, but they just were not comfy with the calf hip, even with my alteration. Yeah, how deep was it? Like thigh deep and or deeper? So they were my first pair of hunters. Long-time viewers of the channel remember, but yeah, they were the first hunters I bought them new. Still have them. As I was explaining earlier, it both can be and also isn't. It depends on what you've got. Um, Spots like this, where it's like a almost like a creamy clay, like silt, can be very sticky. But other bits, if it's more waterlogged or just um, really sloppy, but you do sink. Like obviously, you'll like step. You can be like walking through this stuff, and it'll be like ankle or calf deep, and then your next step will suddenly be thigh deep, and you're in just this like soup. But that's all part of the fun. Keeps it interesting. Yeah, they were decently stuck, and spoilers, but the hunters are about to become pretty stuck as well. Yeah, can be. Yeah, see, like I've only put my weight on them, and they're already getting stuck and sucking on my feet. Depends on the spot. It's obviously it's a river estuary, so um, just hear the suction there. Uh, like where it is at the actual estuary bit, there's a town right next to it, and there's a busy road, so it's terrible for privacy. But where I film, like here, is about half a mile to a mile like upstream, where it's still tidal, so you still get the nice tidal estuary mud, but it's a lot quieter. Um, yeah, you can see they're already stuck. Like I've not really even taken much of a step, and they're already stuck. Yeah, exactly, Jim. I do wish I had a pair of rubber riding boots though, like ones that actually fit properly. They were fun boots to wear. Favorite part for mudding? It's hard to narrow it down. Uh, everything's good. Um, and you don't often get like good suction without good noise. They kind of go hand in hand. The suction is definitely like one of the top feelings. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what everyone else thinks. Skip ahead to where we're actually interested. I can't remember what I was doing there. It can be like the peril of it, I think. Um, that it doesn't have to be. If you know what I mean. Like yes, it is really fun when you get in a situation like that and you realize your your wellies are stuck, but you can have like just as much fun just like splashing in puddles and that. So it's yeah, it's kind of like a bit of everything. Yeah, you can really see how sticky it is there. Like you can actually see the boot kind of stretching. Like that was properly stuck in there and not very deep. Yeah, there is. So just me walking back to the banks. Um, right. Speaking of stuck, this, if I remember correctly, is one of the most stuck I've been. Uh, yeah, that as well. Like going from pristine, box fresh, really clean boots to completely filthy and potentially stuck is one of the favorite points. Andy, if you'll see in the course of this video, this was one of the few times where I've actually been, my boots have actually been properly stuck and I couldn't pull them out. Making sure this is the video I'm thinking of. Yeah. Like we'll get let the video get to it. In fact, I'll fast forward a bit. So this is just me walking the muddy bit. Yeah, you should just find anywhere. I do like moors. The only thing I don't like about moors is they can go from being like just like wet kind of mud to suddenly you're like thigh deep in soup. Oh, thank you. I remember this location particularly. I don't think it's there anymore. Last time I was there, it was all flattened and like filled in. I do. I am familiar with his videos. His moors are really good. I've never been in one like that. I think that's like a peat bog. I've never been in one before, but if you could find one, like that would be a good fun place to try. Yeah, so this location, I one time I was there. I think I was wearing my shams, and I was there filming, and it's next to like a road, but it's kind of like not a lot of cars go down it. Like it's more like a farm access road than anything. I remember seeing a Land Rover Defender, like an old one, like driving past, and I don't know what made me think of it, but I just happened to look and see the driver and see him looking at me. And at that point, I wasn't super muddy, but like you could tell I was clearly walking in mud. And I had my tripod phone camera with me, and I just see him turn into the field, like turn into like the gate to get into the field because this was kind of like it was like a farmer's field that was all completely dug up. Um, I don't know why, but it was like completely dug up, and there was like big ditches and piles of mud and clay and stuff. And he like pulled right into it and kind of stopped and like gestured me over. So I kind of sheepishly walked up to him, and he basically said, "What are you doing here?" And I made up some bullshit. He was like, "Just take photos or whatever." And he was just kind of like, "Uh huh, um, yeah, you need to leave." So I was like, "Okay," and then he fucked off. And I don't think I've ever been back there since. I think I drove past it once, and it was like completely different. Like all the spits were like filled in, and it wasn't anywhere near as muddy. But yeah, that was like I think that would probably be the closest I've ever been to being caught. That side, this was a really good spot. I I've definitely been places that I've seen footprints that weren't mine, but they weren't like so far in the middle of nowhere that it would be weird. Like it's just that someone's walked through here, like if they've been out walking the dog or whatever. I've never found like somewhere where the only reason you'd go and find that spot is to go and do this. I've never found that. Yeah, I there's a few videos where I've used like an actual DLSR or DSLR. Um, but typically it's my phone camera I use for all of it, either by hand or on a tripod. Yeah, it's getting pretty late. I'm just gonna do this video and then that one, which you can't really see, but it's the seriously stuck one. Um, and I can skip through this one a little bit because this isn't the really fun bit of this one. Catch you later, man. Uh, skip ahead to the main point of the video. And there, I think that's the start of it. So you're away to see. Uh, I find like a pile of clay, like it's been dug up and like dumped, and as you can see, it's really sticky, like tacky, pretty much. Kind of same. Like if I can get like stuck in something ankle deep, that's quite fun. It does. It's one of the best colors, I think. Um, Not yet. Like at this point, I'm thinking it's just really sticky. Um, I could probably still get out of it. It only really like properly hit when I can't remember if it's my left or my right one where it goes very close to going under, or it does go under, I think, and my foot slips out a little bit. But yeah, my foot slips out and I can't get it back in. And knowing how stuck my boot was, I knew I had no hope of like just pulling it out. Like, look how stuck I am here. Like, you can clearly see my heel, but I'm like struggling to pull it out. Oh, in fact, this is even better to get properly stuck at. It's helpful then. But yeah, this was like similar mud, which I think actually lulled me into a false sense of security. Um, like after being able to get out, and it was very similar. I thought, I get the next bit. I thought, I know how to handle this kind of thing, and maybe pushed it a bit too far. But like, yeah, like you can, like that's the heel of my boot, and I'm still stuck. Yeah, I think the bigger the boot you've got, the more easily you get stuck. 100%. I know it's such a good, prominent line, isn't it? Skip ahead a little bit. A little bit of sticky mud, but not where I actually get stuck. Yeah, that's thanks. That's copied from an old video. Um, if you're a certain age, like a millennial, basically, if you remember Tots TV, they did an episode about a Wiley stuck in mud, and it must have been at the right time to just flick a switch in my head, and that's one of the hottest videos to me. You should get a red pair if you can find them. They do them. I think they do them up to a size 12, or they did at least. Man of culture. I know I'm skipping ahead past this bit, but yeah, that rocking back and forth bit always gets me. Yeah, so this, pretty sure this is it. I think actually, do I go back to the same spot? This is the trouble with it being like several years ago, yeah. So I go back to the same spot thinking, like, I'll jump back in, have a bit more fun. But it must have been from disturbing it the first time. Must have like loosened off or something. So right about here, I'm kind of realizing that unlike before, both boots are quite stuck. Um, and that my like moving, like you can kind of see I can kind of pull one out a little bit. But anytime I'm pulling one out, the other one's starting. I can feel it like shifting and starting to like start to sink a little bit. But yeah, it really felt like just like a clamp around my ankle, pretty much. Like so, there's quite a lot of movement at the top, but my ankle just was not moving. I when I got these, I got them from a TK Maxx. They happen to have them in stock. I have seen a few secondhand, but yeah, they are hard to get, especially in like the bigger sizes. Neither of them was going anywhere. Like it really was just like you could feel it just like clamped down around my ankle pretty much, and even trying to like wiggle them a bit to try and get them a bit loose. It just wasn't happening. All it was doing was liquidating the mud around it. Uh, so yeah, at this point, I I realized that the second my foot slipped out, the boot just crushed right at the ankle, and just I could not push it down. And then that happened, and then I kind of decided to just like go with it a little bit and really like shove it under, try and get some of the liquid mud inside it. But yeah, look, it just completely closed off. I really regret how I filmed this. Like I should have been more focused on what was happening instead of I mean, I was enjoying the moment really. But yeah, I was. Um, I think I'm kind of standing here thinking like, fuck, how am I going to get these out? I think I do try. So I filmed this a little bit here of trying to pull them out, and there just was no movement. So then I stopped filming and tried to use two hands to pull them out. And when I tell you these boots did not move, they did not move. Like it was like they were stuck in concrete. Just nothing at all was moving them. So I had to walk back to the car in my socks to get the other pair of boots, which we seen at the start of the clip, to try and dig them out. I sometimes like flooding them. I don't always, um, but it is kind of fun. Now I think, yeah. So I'll pause it here. So what happened was, so I put on those boots, um, the other pair. Come on, yeah. Put on the pair I had in the first time. Um, I honestly don't know. Like it's, I don't know. I really don't know. I maybe would have said something like I was out walking and got my expensive boots stuck or whatever, and like just made up some sort of excuse. But yeah, I don't know what I would have done. So it comes back. I gets the spare pair of boots. I goes back to the hunters to try and like dig them out by hand because I decided that was a good idea. The mud was between me being there, going back in my other boots and coming back. The mud had started to like solidify around them, and I don't know if you've ever tried to dig through clay by hand before, but it's near impossible. And I don't know what was in that mud, but it was like there was fiberglass or something in it because like the all the little stones in that was obviously quite sore digging down, but it just felt like I was like rummaging through fiberglass without gloves on. Like I kept feeling like these little things, like little tiny sticks sticking into my skin that was quite sore. So, pardon me. So eventually I decide, you know, they're completely stuck. There's nothing I can do by hand. I'm like shredding my hands trying to get them out. I'm covered in mud, like I'm muddy up to my elbows pretty much. Hoodie's muddy, jeans are covered in mud, boots are splattered in mud because while I'm trying to dig them out, my other boots are also sinking, and I don't want to get them stuck. Um, so as luck would have it, there is a garden center about 10-minute drive from where that is. So I jumps in the car, drives to the garden center, buys a pair of gloves, which you can kind of sort of see. Yeah, buy those gloves, and I buy a shovel, and I come back, and I'm walking around the garden center buying these stuff covered in mud. And I come back and spend about, I think it was a good 20-25 minutes digging out these boots. And the mud was so just like, had like set like concrete that even with the shovel, I was barely making a dent into it. And at one point, like, get the shovel right in, and I'm trying to like lever it back. I think I was actually trying to lever one of the boots out, and I could hear the wooden shaft of the shovel start to crack. like with how much I was trying to lever these boots out. But yeah, eventually I managed to get them dug out, and you can see here just how thick and sticky the mud is, and like just so heavy. And that was the one that wasn't actually sunk. It was the other one that went under. Uh, I've never found a pair abandoned in the mud. No, that's a lie. I came across a Dunlop welly that was stuck in mud, and its partner was like up the path, a couple hundred meters, just abandoned. The online stores are up on DeviantArt. What page on there? I did a couple of times while trying to dig them out, and it just like wasn't happening. But I think if it was the other way around in the new boots at the time, which were like I think they were Solognats from Decathlon. They were like 35 quid or something. If it was them that was stuck and I was wearing the hunters, yeah, look how solid that set. Like I don't think it was concrete, but it kind of behaved like concrete. Um, yeah, if it was the other way around, I probably would have just left them. Like it was really too much faff, too hard to dig them out. But because it was the red hunters, I wasn't gonna leave them. Yeah, it was very intense. Yeah, like it went from like it's all good and then just completely stuck. Yeah, they've definitely been well used. They've been sunk and flooded many a times now. Still holding up strong though, surprisingly. Uh, so yeah, this was. I don't know if any of you know Aberdeen well, but we got a bypass built a couple of years ago, and this was like one of the farm fields that they dug up, and then like they dumped all of the soil they dug up for the bypass. They like dumped it and like flattened out in this field, and it was right before winter. Then it like rained for several weeks. So as you'll see, this field's like really soft mud. I think I know the one you're on about. I think that's one at a quarry. Was it like bright? Was it like a reddish orange mud? Uh, Currently, I only have the Chaucer's, Chaucer's, the leather lined ones. I did used to have a pair of Vierzons and a pair of angle ones, which I can't remember the name of. Yeah, I love the look of them. I don't know if it's because they like posh wellies or whatever, but I do really love the look of them. And if you want, I can put that on next. Yeah, finding a field like that is like a gold mine. Like as you can see, it's so easy to just sink, and it's usually decently sticky. Excuse me. But yeah, this stuff was really good. It was like the more you moved in it, the more it just like liquidated and you sunk even deeper. Like just when you thought like you're as deep as you'll sink, you moved a bit and you kept sinking. You forgot them on a farm. Like how did you forget a pair of boots like that? Yeah, like the more you moved, like it was just like radiating out, like it was just liquidating like quicksand, which I was not expecting to be honest. And yeah, you can see they're like I think they were just cheap Dunlops, but completely completely sunk under. And then again, I took my foot out and just you can see it just closed them up. Also, you have to remember this was in like I can't remember if it was before Christmas or just after Christmas, but it was like 30 degrees, and I'm barefoot in these cheap Dunlop wellies or Nords, neither of which were insulated. Like it was so cold, like just above freezing. And the thing with all that liquidating is like when you try and step on it to get your other boot out, it just sinks. Oh, you need to get some. They're so good. They're great for like messy things like this because they're unlined. You can just rinse them out. So handy. But yeah, like at this point, I'm realizing that like standing anywhere near to those boots, I'm just getting stuck. Yeah, like it was literally like you step near it and it was all like collapsing on each other. So I kind of had the decision of like I'm gonna have to pull these out before they just disappear. Almost. They actually, when they get warm, they do get they do soften a bit. Like they're quite soft, as they are, but when they get like really warm, like if you wear them in the sun, uh, one you get very sweaty, but they do soften. You can feel them stretch a bit more. I am not familiar with them. I'm gonna Google them quickly. Just pause that quickly. You know about these? Like Noracom? Uh, I've never seen them before, to be honest. I mean, I never say no a good pair of bellies, but are they? So they're not online, are they? No. I would never say no. Depends how much they are. Um, they do look nice and chunky. I will say that. So at this point, it's kind of hard to tell because my framing was terrible, but I couldn't pull them out. Like they just were not coming out. So I have the great idea to try and reach down to grab the heel and pull them out that way, which was and wasn't working because like although it was like the mud was just liquidating, trying to force your hand down into it, it was like too thick, or like as you're pushing it down, it was the boot was getting pushed down as well. I really did not want to give those boots up, and then as well, it was like so sticky. It was like clumping my hand together, like so my fingers couldn't move. And those gloves, they're just rubber, like elbow length, thick rubber gloves, so they're not insulated. Um, so I'm like shoving my hand down into like freezing cold mud, and my fingers were going numb, which was not helping in trying to grip the boot to pull it out. I think at this point I did work out that like wiggling them while pulling up, like almost pulling up while like stirring them, it was making them come out ever so slightly, but um, but not enough. Like I was getting tired so fast doing it. I did think about abandoning them. Like, not gonna lie, there was a point where I think I like stand up or something. I think I can't remember to be honest, but it was kind of like I'm gonna have to just leave them because I'm getting exhausted. I'm getting so tired. I was starting to think like, am I gonna be able to get the Noras out? And I mean, those Dunlops were like, I think they were like a 10. So I wasn't like monetary wise, I wasn't that fussed about leaving them, but Noras I didn't want to leave. But yeah, it was so hard. Like I think I did like at that point I think I did manage to get my fingers under the heel with just like my fingertips and trying to pull against that mud when your fingers are numb, it just was not happening. Moving downwards into the mud, yeah. Yeah, every you can kinda see, but like every movement they were just sinking more and more, especially when I was like trying to pull them out. Like pull the other boot out. And I was trying to not move as much as possible so I wouldn't sink. But even just like doing this, I could feel it literally liquidate the mud and just slowly sink. Like I am like completely exhausted at this point. If you watch while I'm pulling this one, like how deep they are just now, they'll only start to get deeper. Yeah, like once I got the first one out, I knew it was possible. So it was definitely like I'm not being beaten. Like I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get both of them out. It was extremely tiring though, and especially like when I'm trying to like dig a hole and like pull some of the mud out. You can see I'm pulling mud out and it's just collapsing back in on itself. Or stick to my gloves. And you can just see how sticky it was. Like I think at one point it was just the toe of the boot that was in the mud, and it was still stuck. Yeah, got wiggled to victory. Um, so I'm sockless in this video, but normally I prefer socks. Although I am currently sockless. But yeah, this is now me realizing that my mirrors are almost as stuck as much as they were. I know. Also, I don't know if it's super clear, but I'm now sitting down at this point. It did help. I'm not gonna lie, it did help a little bit. Say a little bit because you can see it's kind of coming off there. No, I was completely shattered. Like, that's why I'm like sitting down in the mud, and even then, I'm like still struggling. And that was my boot coming off. Again, I am so gutted that my framing wasn't better. Yeah, at that point, I'm just like sitting. I'm not really caring about the video at this point. Like, phone's recording, it is what it is. I'm just trying to get out, and like you can see, it was just completely stuck. It's only like the ankle down that's in the mud, but just between me being exhausted and the mud being so sticky, it just was not happening. I think actually the cup. I think I just disappear here. Yeah, I fade out because I can't remember. I think the camera turned off or something, and because I was stuck there, I couldn't come out and put it back on. So I just had to turn it. Like, eventually got myself out, came back over and hit record again. And I think I'm also like, you can't see. Oh no, yeah, I must have left. Yeah, left the Nora stuck and came and put the camera back on. That's what it was. Because it's like pitch black as well. It's like near midnight, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. So when the camera light went off, you literally couldn't see. Like, you had starlight and moonlight, if that. And yeah, it's like literally, it was like just the front of the boot that was stuck. Like, it's sitting like toe down, like the mud's like here. So it was just like the front toe part of the boot that was stuck in the mud. But even then, like, couldn't really, was struggling to pull it out. Hey, I knew some of you would have a good time. Glad I could help you in a way. So bear in mind, I am like completely exhausted at this point. But like, can we just let me just rewind this? This is how sticky this mud was. So like, watch my waterproofs. So I'm just like touching the mud. Look at that. It's like, it was honestly like glue and so heavy. Yeah, showing the state I'm in. Yeah. Uh, I think one last one. Oh, they were like 5 to 10 kilos each, probably. Uh, why is this not like that? Okay, bear with. I don't know why this doesn't have any sound. There we go. Try a different one. So this was filmed at an active quarry. It's still active. I think it was on. It might have been a bank holiday Monday or like the Sunday before a bank holiday, something like that. So it was like pretty sure there was no one there. But it was also like really stormy. Like I don't know if you can tell, but my work was sort of completely soaked with the rain, and like I'm having to really dim down the volume to cut out the wind noise. But this was a really fun outing. I try and do it every week, like as much as I can, really. Oh, sorry, man. I don't know what's going on with this. Like, it's supposed to be on live chat, so I don't know why some are not going through. Some comments are not coming through. But yeah, we'll watch that one quickly after this. Yeah, back to this video. So I am kind of almost like trying to sink a bit deeper here, but it is really sticky. Like it's definitely like a clay type mud. Um, which is I think is my favorite type. If you get like the right consistency, which this was, just a shame it was so wet and wet and windy because it ruined the audio. Yeah, but they can also be deceiving as well, because sometimes you sink deeper than the mud pile is tall. My socks usually often slip down in my boots quite often. Yeah, we are pretty spoiled for choice here. Yeah, so it hit that point there. Um, I am like leaning full force, and it's just not moving at all. And then I'm raising my left nose and stuff as well, even though it's like barely ankle deep. It was just so stuck, which is a thing with the Norse. I think it's because like it's like they've got these like lips all the way around the outside, and it's like a I don't know if you can see, but like it's like a rubber stem, and I think once that goes under the mud, it acts like a wedge and really just makes sure you're stuck. Yeah, it was honestly so steep. If it wasn't as wet and stormy, I probably would have done a lot more here. But it was just so windy and rainy. I was worried that my phone was getting soaked, and I knew the audio would be terrible, as you can hear. Turn that down a bit actually. And also because it's like a life quarry. I'm always like nervous that there's going to be like a security van or something show up. Has never had to happen yet, but you never know. And like there's some excuses you can have for being in mud in other places, but I don't think there was an excuse for that. That was some fun though, because like the water had pooled in my footprint, so you could see when I'm moving, it's like spurting this muddy slurry everywhere, which is always fun. And here's for definitely not pre-planned bag with mock boots sitting. Yeah, that's the worst bit. It's carrying two pairs. I love how much you can see the Norris stretch. Like you think they're coming out, but they only really moved that last bit there. And of course, I'll walk right back to the bit I was just stuck in after getting the boots free. I do miss those mock boots. They just weren't as comfortable as I thought they would be for wearing them. But I do like the neoprene uppers. Um, Not really. I mean, it definitely feels like it's more chance of it ripping and breaking if you're really pulling on them. But I think from memory, I have pulled those quite a good bit, and they never actually broke. So this next bit is pretty funny. So I'm at this point I'm walking back to the car. I put the Nora's in the boot bag. I'm walking back. I'm thinking I'll film some puddle splashing, maybe some flood in the boots because the water is quite deep here. Um, but at most I was thinking I'll flood the boots. There can be, yeah, there can be. But I completely forget that at the quarry there's like a lower bit, and I happen to be walking the edge because of the deep water. I'll be walking along a berm in between, like the kind of road bit to my right, and a lower bit to my left. It's maybe about a foot lower, and you can see I kind of just go slightly off center soonish, I think. Yeah, there we go. And I like completely fell on my ass. Like I had water up to my chest, and I'm panicking because my keys were in my pocket, as you can hear, and they got soaked. So as I'm now walking back, I'm now kind of thinking, shit. Like the phone, honestly, the phone I wasn't worried about. My phone's waterproof. If it went under, it went under. But my car keys are my main worry because I know fogs are generally like splash proof, and it went like completely under. So as you notice, I'm now walking a lot faster. And then just cut the video. At that point, I'm like, I don't know if my key, because it's my car's keyless, so you don't. There's no like a lock or ignition barrel to put a physical key in. And I'm thinking, fuck, if this key's fucked, this key's no longer working, I'm gonna have to make a phone call that I'm parked in the middle of nowhere, and someone has to go pick up the spare set of keys to come get the car started. And also, I'm soaking wet. I don't have a change of clothes. I'm gonna have to answer what I was doing there. Luckily, however, as soon as I got within range, I pressed the unlock button and it unlocked. So that was a good start. This was a request by DM Phillips, so we'll watch this one quickly, and then I'm gonna head off. This is the more oily mud down at the beach. And as you can see, it's a lot softer, a lot more liquidy, but still decently sticky. It's mainly sticky because there's like a 6-inch layer of that black stuff on top, and then the thicker stuff down below. And it also stinks. And it's a bit of a bugger to clean off, so it is. I don't know why it's so black. I don't think it's just um like decomposing vegetation, or it's like industrial wastewater. But it's not the best stuff. I don't know why that's default. So yeah, this spot, this is like right next to the beach. Um, so it's relative. You can possibly see easily, but from all the times I've been in there, I don't think you can see. Skip ahead a little bit. someone's private message me on Instagram. I'll watch this because I think they're too scared to put it in chat. And how exactly do you want me to do that? It stinks. Yeah, I do actually think it stains a little bit. I think they were never quite as clean again. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly at that point, it doesn't really feel solid underneath. Yeah, it's not the best smell, but it doesn't. I'm like trying to feel what's it's not. But I really didn't want to get that far inside this place at that point. Yeah, exactly. I am somewhat panicked at this point. I am so close to stepping on it. It doesn't feel solid when I step on it. Yeah, the logo disappeared, and I think it's one of the shots. I love capturing it. Yeah, at this point, I'm like, I just need to get back to solid ground before I sink even deeper. Gave up how? Or like, gave up sinking them? Probably because I'm talking quite quiet. What do you mean? It's like you gave up on them. I don't know what's happening with the audio. be honest. It looks fine on my side from the like my levels look fine. Um, oh, weird. I don't know. Could be a bandwidth thing maybe. Um, yeah, the contrast is. I do like the contrast of that. Like how you're almost like you're breaking through to the layer beneath. Right. Since that's midnight, I'm probably gonna call it there. Um, I think this was really good. I think good viewers, good chat. So I think I'll do this again. Um, if you want to PM me videos you want me to watch, I'll do it again next week. So, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching along. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah, we'll do it again later.